today we are addressing the issue of guest posting as a link building tactic. So in order to understand why it's an issue and why people are talking about it, you have to understand a little bit about the history of how it came about, how it got started, why it's so popular now, and then therefore why, because it's so popular now, people are looking at it in a different way and asking, will it continue to be popular and useful moving forward? So, history. Link building has always been a part of SEO. Probably always will be. In the past, there was a lot of really artificial ways to build links. There were directories where you would submit your site information, and as part of that site information, you would get a link back to your site. But there wasn't really a whole lot of substantialness to it. It was just a listing. There was a million sites out there. You could get a million of them, but so it was all about quantity, not quality. As Google came out with more and more algorithm changes that said that they were rewarding quality, not just quantity, people decided that they needed to find ways to build more quality links to their sites. Guest posting was one of the responses to that. So what people do is they would write these guest posts that were about whatever their site was about, maybe nothing that had anything to do with their site, depended on how you wanted to do it. And as a reward for you creating this site content, this guest post, you would get a link back to your site. Either in the content of the site or in the footer, somewhere you would get a link. So as more and more SEOers decided to start doing this, more and more people saw that it was working and saw that it was something that Google was rewarding, and so everybody started doing it. And what's the problem with when everybody starts doing it? It kind of cheapens it. And so now, where in the past you used to have these directories that were really shallow and there weren't really any site visitors to them, it was just basically a link farm, there wasn't anything substantial behind it, that's the exact same now that's happening with guest posting. You're having these sites that are being created that are basically guest posting link farms. There aren't really any site visitors behind it, there aren't really any people behind the site itself, it's just there. It's just shallow content. And so that's where kind of the state of things are now. So people are asking, well, will Google continue to reward this kind of guest posting? And my answer is, duh, probably not. If you're asking that question and Google is some of the smartest people in the world, they're probably going to see it too. So is guest posting a link building tactic that can be used in the future? My answer would be yes, if you do it right. And the right way to do it is to focus on creating the quality content, and once you've got that great content that really sings your story and tells what your brand is about and tells what you can provide, once you've created that content, then your goal is to try and put that content out in front of real people. And the easiest way to do that is by finding these sites that are relevant, that you providing information that people are looking for on that site. And then as a reward for you creating that content and providing value to people, you might get a link back to your site somewhere related to the content somewhere. And so then you are not only getting this, putting this content out there and having this link, people might actually read your content and say, wow, that was really useful. What else does this site have to offer? And they might click on your link and go to your site. And so it's not just about getting the link, it's about you're putting this great content out there that is then usable and people want to share and people want to tell other people about. And so then that creates a more natural link profile, which is what Google is always really looking for. And so as SEOers, our job is to create the most natural link profile we possibly can by actually telling our brand story.